Ready? Here are the facts, bro. Men, we find women attractive primarily based on their looks, right? That's what we optimize for in a partner. And because of that, a lot of us have this internal bias, thinking we need to become more attractive to get attention from the women that we want. Instead, it is important to understand how to become more desirable to women, how to make them crave us on a deeper level, not just think that we're attractive or cute. And that's the reason that when you spot a super hot girl, whether it's on Instagram or out at the gym or the restaurant, and she's with her boyfriend or her husband, he is almost never a pretty boy. No, instead, he is optimized for the following factors. The secret is to master certain qualities that naturally attract women to you. Number 1, invest in yourself. Every day. You're likely familiar with the concept of investing money. You spend a little bit of your money now, hoping that in the future, that little bit you spent will end up making you even more money. Investing makes sense in other environments too, health and intelligence. Let's think of your training as investing in yourself. By training and learning, you will invest my time and effort during the session, and knowledge knowing that in the future, it will make you a stronger, faster, better person. Whenever you need motivation or a reminder to stay disciplined, let me tell you a story from the Bible. I know, religion, so controversial. Stick with me. You definitely do not have to be religious to apply the lesson from this story to your training and lifestyle. Matthew 25:14-30 tells the parable of the talents. It describes a man who gave his 3 servants each a number of talents. Back in the days of the Bible, the word talents meant goods. For now, I'm going to use talents in the literal sense of the word. One servant received 5 talents, one received 2, and the last received just 1. After a long journey, the man returned to see what the servants had done with the talents. The servant who received 5 had invested those 5, yielded 5 more, and returned the 10 talents to the man. The servant who received 2 had also invested and doubled his talents. The man was pleased and rewarded them. The servant who received 1 talent had buried it, and had just the 1 to return back to the man. The man was disappointed that the servant had played it safe and had nothing to show for it, and punished him. You were born with talents. Whether you believe that they were given to you by a god or not is irrelevant. Everyone is born with talents that are unique to them. Explore different hobbies and find out exactly what your talents are. Maybe you are an incredible athlete pursuing a professional career. Maybe you can sing so well you bring people to tears. Maybe you write so well you bring people to tears. Maybe you cook so well that people eat entirely too much of your food, then look at themselves in the mirror and are brought to tears. Invest in your talents. Every single day, do something to invest in your talents. It doesn't have to be something huge. It just has to be something that makes you better. It is much more beneficial to consistently do small things that make you better than it is to try and sporadically take huge steps. Think of it like creating a college fund. Do parents start early and consistently invest smaller portions of their money to reach their goal, or do they randomly deposit massive amounts of money that immediately plunge them into crippling debt? I hope we both come up with the same answer. Daily investments are definitely not easy. Some days you just want to relax and take a break, and other days you find yourself so busy that you don't even realize the sun has gone down and the day is almost over. When you find this happening to you and you don't feel like making an investment, think again of the parable of the talents. You are both the man and a servant. At the end of your life, you will have to answer to yourself. When you ask yourself what you did with your talents, what will be your answer? You can either bury your talents and have nothing to show for it, or you can invest in your talents now and yield something great for your future self. Invest now, and you will have anything includes her. Number 2, validation. Women want to feel like a winner, the same way you do when you score a touchdown or pass a test. If being with you makes her feel like a winner, you're on the right track. You see, in today's world, a lot of guys may be addicted to some not-so-great stuff, and women, well, they're often caught up in the social media world. It's not about judging, it's about comprehending the game. Guys can get caught up in the wrong things, whereas women frequently crave attention, likes, double taps. It's their way of feeling confident and in control. So, the girl you're interested in probably knows that you'd like to get closer, but here's the kicker. If being with you doesn't feel like a win for her, it's not going to happen. She doesn't want to feel like she's been won over too easily, or that you're just another guy who's not really bringing much to the table. Imagine you've seen those classic movie scenes where the confident, assertive and self-assured hero strides into the room and all eyes are on him. The women can't help but be drawn to his charisma and confidence. It's like in those James Bond movies. Bond's self-assured demeanor, his sharp wit, and of course his stylish presence elevate him to a level where women can't resist his charm. That's the kind of validation we're talking about. So here's the secret. When a woman feels that being with a guy elevates her status or validates her in some way, it can be a powerful motivator. It's not about manipulation, it's about making her feel appreciated and valued, just like how Steve McQueen's character in Bullet loses his coolness, and his female co-star can't help but be drawn to his rugged charm. That's the deal. Women desire that excuse, that reason to be with a man, and most of the time, it's all about feeling like it benefits or validates them in some way. Number 3, being carefree. When we say carefree, we do not mean careless or irresponsible. Being constantly busy worrying about everything life throws at you and losing control of life's challenges is unsuitable for women. Okay, you're out on a date, and something unexpected occurs. Perhaps the restaurant messed up your order, or there's a sudden downpour. Here's where being carefree comes into play. Instead of getting worked up and complaining, you handle the situation with class. You tell a joke, maybe even make her laugh, and you adjust to the situation. That's the key. Adapt and move forward. You don't let these minor details ruin the night. Let's say you're planning a weekend getaway and your car breaks down. Instead of losing your cool and stressing out, you calmly figure out a solution. Maybe you turn it into an adventure, hitch a ride, and make an unforgettable story out of it. Women dig that, the ability to handle life's bumps without turning it into a drama. It's not about pretending that problems don't exist. It's about your approach and how you react to any situation or even your emotions. You're like a sailing ship through the storm. You might get tossed around a bit, but you stay the course, and you do it with a smile on your face. Now here's the magic of it. When women see a man who can handle the small bumps in the road, they start to imagine how he'd tackle the bigger challenges life throws at them. It's like they see a leader in you, someone who won't crumble under pressure. It's an incredibly attractive quality because deep down, everyone wants a partner they can rely on. Number 4, being independent. Independence is more than just living alone or working. It's about emotional and mental maturity. Consider this. Rocky Balboa, the Italian stallion, had to prove himself as a fighter. It wasn't just about landing punches. It was about having inner strength and resilience. Women appreciate that. They want a man who is in control of his life and does not feel the need for another person to complete him. But here's the point. Independence is a lifestyle and a statement. It's about showing a woman that you're a real man who can take care of himself. This means moving beyond the comfort of your parents' home. You don't need a mansion or a fancy car. but you do need your own space and your independence. You don't have to be wealthy, but you do need to demonstrate that you can handle life solo, paying your own bills, cooking your own meals, and doing your own laundry. It's about taking care of your space and keeping it clean and respectable. No girl wants to be with a guy who relies on his mum to do his chores. Independence also involves making your own decisions and standing by them. If you make a mess, you clean it up. If you screw up, you fix it without running to mom and dad whenever things get tough. Being a man means facing life's challenges and taking responsibility for your actions. It's all about dealing with what life throws at you, and that's what being independent is all about. As the movie Good Will Hunting unfolds, Will Hunting shows his independence by working construction, paying his own bills, and handling his life. He also makes his own decisions, even when it's tough. Despite facing incredible challenges, he was determined to create a better life for himself. That's independence in action. Women admire a man who can take care of himself and at the same time create a life that others want to be a part of. When you do this, she'll see you as a potential man who can father her kids, and such desire can be a driving force behind her decision to be with you. Number 5. Your sexual skills. First, in this part, let's talk about kissing. Why kissing means more to women. A State University of New York team quizzed over 1,000 students, finding women place a big emphasis on kissing, but men placed less importance on it, using it to increase the likelihood of sex, evolutionary psychology reported. The questionnaires revealed men were less discriminating when it came to deciding who to kiss or who to have sex with. They were more willing to have sex with someone without kissing, to have sex with someone they are not attracted to, and agree to have sex with someone they considered to be a bad kisser. But kissing was more important as a bonding mechanism to women. In long-term relationships, females not only rate kissing as more important than men, but they indicated that kissing was important throughout a relationship. They use kissing as a way of assessing the recipient as a potential partner, and later to maintain intimacy and to check the status of a relationship. Moreover, maybe you know foreplay can make sex more exciting. Especially kissing in foreplay releases oxytocin, serotonin, and dopamine. These feel-good hormones can reduce stress and help you get out of your own head while you're with your partner and enjoy sex even more. Therefore, if you are a good kisser, you will have a significant advantage in competing for women with other competitors. Next is an extremely important aspect of human evolution: sex. Do you wonder if a relationship survives without sex? Yes, sex isn't always necessary, but it can be an important part of a healthy, fulfilling relationship. How important sex is can vary from one individual to the next. Some people may feel that being a sexual couple is absolutely vital. Others may feel that other types of intimacy and connection are more important. And let me reveal to you, women are attracted to men who show sexual desire. It's a misconception that women are not attracted to aggressive men. The truth, women go nuts for aggressive men who show their sexual desire in the right way. Have you ever noticed how well some guys do with women? If you're a nice guy, you might see these dudes and wonder what makes them so special and why women like them so much. Maybe you've seen them at nightclubs with a stunner in heels. Or maybe you've seen your natural friend pull girls over and over again. The chances are that, even though I'm not talking about one specific man, you can still picture the kind of dominant, masculine, and ultimately aggressive guy that I'm talking about. A key reason these guys get women is because they show their desire. At a very basic level, any guy who wants a girl must show his desire towards her. A girl may throw indicators of interest and other signals towards a guy, but if he doesn't show his desire, girls often move on. There's another key facet here that separates the average guy from the guy who actually succeeds often. Naturals, players, and men who know how the game works understand that it is actually their aggressiveness that distinguishes them from most men. That aggressiveness, their willingness to take risks with women and go after what they want, draws women into their world. Aggressive guys get girls more often. If you're gaming and you want women, you must show the women around you aggressive desire and go after them aggressively. Aggressiveness towards women pays off. Far too many men have been shamed into being timid with women, to the benefit of the few men who still have the nuts to be aggressive. For the longest time, I've personally struggled with being aggressive. Approach anxiety is one of many symptoms connected to a fear of going after a woman. Call it a cultural thing, but it can take years to get over. Because if you're like me, being culturally raised to be nice and affable to all, everything you've been taught flies straight in the face of being aggressive and taking what you want. Aggressive guys win, far more than timid or nice guys do. Where a nice guy might get a shot thrown his way once a month, the aggressive guy creates opportunities with women all over the place. Women love aggressive desire. It fills them, completes them, and makes them horny when they are comfortable with the aggressor. The problem is that men show aggressive desire at the wrong moments. And as their efforts are rarely calibrated, women put up their hardest bitch shields. Women like aggressive effort from men, but only if those efforts are true, authentic, and in pace with her own reality. The smart guys who desire women know this, and know how to mix the right level of desire with the right level of aggression. Why desire works. Biological and social goals are very different between the sexes. Where men function on a physical realm and are attracted to beauty, women function on mental and emotional states and are attracted to powerful, dominant men. Women crave attention from powerful, sexy men, and male desire supplies them with a range of emotional gratification. Women want attention. Just think about it. Women always want attention. We already know that about women, right? All women like to socialize, gaggle with each other, and talk to each other about guys. Girls sometimes spend up to 2 hours or even longer just putting on makeup, dressing up just to look nice for a night out where they might meet a sexy man, and because men are such pussies these days, they probably won't. Oftentimes they'll spend time getting ready for an event, only to not get approached all night long because the men are too intimidated. Nearly all women want to be wanted by a man or a masculine woman for the feminine lesbian. The feminine longs for fullness from masculine energy. Although they rarely approach men, that doesn't mean that women don't dream about being approached. From a young age, women have been told through the media, social programming, religion, and also through their friends and family that they're going to meet a man who will sweep them off their feet. The happily ever after dream is to find a Prince Charming who gives them everything in the world. They'll have beautiful babies and live happily ever after. Being desired is a female fantasy. As a man who shows strong desire, you're making the fantasy come to life. So showing desire is powerful indeed. It's something any woman looks forward to, both biologically and from her social programming. Women fantasize about dominant, aggressive men. If you want proof, go raid your grandma's secret library. The problem is that guys don't show desire in a sexy and attractive way most of the time. We'll get to this in a bit, but all women want to feel wanted by men, even if they say they don't. Desire is a winning strategy. Women want to feel wanted. Desire is a living embodiment of the female dream, companionship and commitment from a sexy and strong man. It's a man's duty to be responsible for women and to protect them. Historically, it has always been this way. Men go as far as to fight wars and take territory. Women, on the other hand, love to sustain men and will devote themselves to a man they adore. For all their efforts, women also want to feel valued and wanted in return. They want to know that a man appreciates everything that she is doing for him. Otherwise, she would rather go find another guy who can. I know many women who don't feel worthy and stay in bad situations for too long, but these are a minority. At the end of the day, women want to feel cared for. They seek comfort from a man, and they want to feel his warmth and affection. So, women also want to feel desired, sexually and aggressively, right? If you're GC educated, then you already know how badly women want sex and how many things they do to get guys to pursue them. In other words, women want to feel desired sexually too. It's ultimately up to the guy to give them that desire and show that aggressiveness. Once again, we see that being aggressive is a winning strategy with women. Manly men aren't afraid to show desire. Women don't like nice guys. They go to all sorts of lengths to test how nice a guy is. Sure, women like guys who treat them well, but they don't like pushovers and weak guys who are afraid to go after them, the definition of a nice guy. Women also go to great lengths to test if a man will bend to their frame. Therefore, he can be categorized as weak. Women want strong men who will protect them, will fight for them, and who also have the winning genes of a warrior. Women desire to have the babies of strong men in hopes that their choice will carry their own genes long into the future. Women test for this, and they want strong, aggressive men as a result. Imagine a warrior. Is he strong, masculine, and aggressive? Do you think he's a cowering nice guy who's afraid to show his desire for women? She's been in love since the day he first dragged her to his cave. What about a guy like James Bond? There's a man who's suave, smooth, and on top of it all, and he goes after the already taken women of his most feared villains. Most of the time, he ends up sleeping with them too, and he's able to do that because he goes after what he wants and he knows exactly how to get it. Manly men show their desire and they go after what they want. Men go after what they want. Let's look at a nightclub, for instance. Women go to clubs dressed to the nines, often in the skimpiest and most sexually arousing outfits, and it's also a very sexually charged environment. Even if girls don't intend to go home with anyone from a club, they're often open to the possibility with the right guy. Who's the right guy? The aggressive, alpha guys, of course. Women know how to filter for men in such environments. Have you ever heard of the term the numbers game? As with any game of asymmetric returns, the more you go after something, the more likely it is to happen. And so it is with approaching women. The more aggressive you are, the more you go after what you want, the more likely you are to get it. Veterans who warm up and get into a flow state will start winning big over and over and over again. The guys that get laid the most are also the guys that are super social and talk to women. They also know how to pull them and ultimately get them into their bedroom. Usually the best guys are naturals, but anyone can do this. You don't have to be born a natural to learn the skills it takes to get women. You just need to be aggressive. The human sexual dynamic is always men going after women, and women testing men before accepting or rejecting them, despite what feminists might tell you these days. I recently pulled a girl on a first date. I met her on a street approach that lasted 2 minutes. I approached directly, was pretty direct with my questions, and led the conversation. I then told her I had to go, but that I wanted to see her again. She gave me her number, and I texted her later to set up a meet a few days later. We met up for drinks at a bar near my place, and about an hour later, she was in my bedroom having sex with me. All of that happened because I saw her and I went after what I wanted. A young 22-year-old in graduate school, so I found out later. For most guys, it's not such smooth sailing, either because they don't show their desire to begin with, or they don't show it in an attractive way. Or maybe it's because they fail the tests women throw out after they show desire. Women respond to desire with tests. A woman's role in the mating game is to evaluate and test men to make sure they're worthy of her genes, her body, and maybe even her care, love, and attention moving forward. We men might sum up our life mission as spread my genes with as many attractive women as possible. For women, it is to make sure her man is worthy. Nearly all women are programmed to respond to signs of desire with tests, even though they secretly, or not so secretly, like to be at the receiving end of desire. Just picture a set of birds trying to mate. The male flashes his bright feathers to attract and bring forth the female, who is always rebuffing his advances. The human mating game is similar to this, except we use our words and behavior to showcase desire, and women reply in the form of tests. These instincts exist to make sure that the desire is authentic and the man is deemed strong and worthy enough to be with her. A sexy, calibrated and experienced man knows all this, and he knows how to frame his aggression into a sexy package that she actually wants. Sometimes she'll say she doesn't, just because it's fun. Bonus point: keep building. These 5 points are the keys to becoming the type of man that women can't resist. First and foremost, invest in your health and knowledge to help you improve every day. Second, it's about validation, making her feel like a winner when she's with you. Third, be carefree but not careless. Show her that you can face life's challenges with a smile. Fourth, be an independent man who can care for himself emotionally and practically. Finally, kissing and sexual skills are especially necessary for you to perfect yourself perfectly. However, remember that women, like men, require a reason to be with someone. It could be your status, confidence, appearance, or something about you that is simply appealing. It makes no difference whether you are famous or not. What matters is that every interaction and date make her feel like she is winning. Make every day count for you. Imagine each day as a building block that contributes to something bigger for you and your life's purpose. It's all about making a plan and setting goals for what you want to accomplish each day. Don't fall into the trap of believing that success is simply a matter of luck. Some guys spend their time locked in their rooms, gaming from dawn to dusk, binge-watching TV shows and chatting on social media. While doing so, their brains turn to mush and they end up living a boring life. True greatness lies in independence, in maintaining calmness and genuineness, and in not being bound by the expectations of others. As Seneca expressed, if you have ever experienced the discomfort of being treated as secondary, overlooked, or undervalued, this video is dedicated to you.